Okay, I don't remember. Were you here on Tuesday? Yes, so if you remember on Tuesday, we spoke about delivering customer experience. And in digital marketing, we can't talk about experience if we exclude the platform where customers and brands engage. For example, a website, that's where customers will engage with a brand, and the engagement can be maybe part of buying, or sometimes people are not really going to websites to buy, but they are also there for information, there for application. Maybe you want to apply for something, you would need a website. And other platforms like social media, that's where also customers would like to engage with a brand. And we also have softwares, because most of the applications, if you think about it, like your Checker 6060, it's a software. So uh, websites and softwares, they are very, very crucial for customer experience, because that's where customers will find value, whether the platform itself is convenient or it's not. It will determine how happy a customer is. For example, if you want to pay something on an app or via website, and the page takes too long to load, it frustrates, and you've already put your banking details there. You just want the payment to be verified, and all of a sudden it's taking even 30 minutes. You start getting worried. It's not only about that order, you're also getting worried about your details that you put in there. Like, why are they taking long with my details? What is it that they are doing? So it's always crucial to then understand the performance of a software, the performance of the website. We have seen some websites, they are very quick. They load very fast, from one page to another. They load very fast when you are adding things to the basket, or when you are proceeding to check out. They load very fast when you are downloading pictures, when you are downloading movies, when you are adding in a voucher, whatever that will be doing on that system is just so fluent. But there are also websites, like, they are extremely slow. Sometimes the full page is not loaded, and it's always funny. For example, you are loading a website and there's someone's picture there. All of a sudden, it's not only showing you the nose, like it hasn't loaded the face yet, and it becomes very funny, but can be frustrating for customers. Think about it, that you want to buy something on Amazon or take a load, but the page keeps loading and you can't even see the price because it's not fully loaded. So that's always tricky. And today we are going to be looking at website performance optimization. So how do you optimize a website to be faster? And also, what about the availability of the website? A digital platform on its own must not rest. Most companies have got business hours, or some people call it working hours, like from 9 to 5 p.m. They'll be closed for the business. But your website must be operational 24/7, to an extent that if someone wants to buy at 1 a.m., you need to be able to buy. So it must be available. And availability does not necessarily mean the site being findable or discoverable. It also needs to perform its function, because sometimes we've got someone who is available, but they're not performing their. We've had that in relationships. He is always there, or she is always there, but her presence is not, I don't know how to put it, like, he is there, but it's not adding value. Like, maybe he's there just seated, then we've got issues that you're going through and all the stuff. He's not available to take you through what you're going through. He's just there. So physical presence is there, but availability emotionally, spiritually, financially is not there. So same thing when someone says that you were an absent father. I'm sure you've heard about that. Like, my father was absent. And I don't think all absent fathers like were physically absent in their child's life. Some were there physically, but they were not able to provide for their kids. Then, as a result, they are being labeled as absent fathers because their kids or people in society feel like you did not do enough, maybe to take your kid to a better school or to teach your kid how to be a man or to be a woman. So availability in this case is not only about physical presence, it's also about you playing a duty as a website, performing the functions that you should perform. So that's what you're going to be discussing as this, website lesson continues. So the gist of this lesson is on reachability. How reachable is your website? So do you think there's any role that how customers reach your website contribute to their experience? Do you think there's any role in which a website's reachability contributes to customers' experience? Very true. Very true. I saw that. I think it was Incredible Connections when I was looking for a laptop to buy. The website was there, but when I click on the product, it just kept taking me to other products. I don't know if I'm making any sense. You click, it takes you that. You click, oh, like, no, you know what? I've got money now. I want to buy a laptop. If this thing keeps messing me up, I'll end up eating the money. Money does not stay for good. So let me actually go elsewhere and buy the laptop. Then I ended up going elsewhere where I did the thing, and then I was able to buy a laptop. So the experience is huge because it's not only someone leaving your page because not reachable, but it's someone living with their money and spend it elsewhere. So you have not only lost a site visitor, you have also lost a customer. You have also lost money in your bank account. So that's very true because some companies, they do have their websites and their homepage is reachable. But the moment you click on an item, it does not take you to that item. Sometimes it takes you elsewhere. I've seen when applying for jobs, for example, it says click apply. When you say click apply, it needs to go to the application. But now I say click apply, you take me to something else, or that page is broken. Because sometimes you just keep clicking, it's not loading, or sometimes it says error 404. That's a problem. It means that your site is there, but some pages are not reachable. It becomes an issue. And site navigation, like how easy a site is navigable. Do you think it's a role of an IT specialist or a digital marketer? Mm-hmm. Very true. So we can never isolate IT personnel because they are responsible for coding, for developing the whole structure. We do not develop. However, IT people also need us because we are the one who understand the customer experience. They don't. Their job is just coding. They understand the codes and programming. So they are good with programming, they're good with coding, but they wouldn't know customer behavior. So they hear from us. Otherwise, if you leave the job to them, they'll just do whatever they are doing. But we are also seeing an increasingly blending or merging between IT and marketing. You realize that most people are now working in the field of IT. They are also studying digital marketing. And most of people who are studying digital marketing, they are also studying IT. I myself would love to have a diploma, not being a hardcore IT specialist, but a diploma in IT where I can know some minor things, related to coding and stuff like that, because it is the things that I do at work. And I work a lot with a webmaster, those who manage our website. And some of the things I can be able to do on the back end, you know. So it's always crucial to have IT personnel. Then why do some brands include website URL links on their social media handle? So I'll give you an example. If you go to social media, be it TikTok, be it Facebook, be it, you go to a company page, let's say you go to Lenovo, let's say you go to BMW, on their bio, even Instagram, on their bio, they put the website like www, blah, 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 blah. Do you think it's that necessary? Really? Shortcut, okay. That's very true. Okay. That's actually what I had in mind, like you'll be sort of like maintaining legitimacy, that this is our legitimate official website because there are so many funny websites out there. So on that one, that's what I had in mind. But I didn't have in mind what you just mentioned, which is very crucial, shortcut. Instead of on Facebook, I want to go to that website. Instead of going to Google, leave the app and go and search for that, I just click on that. I've never thought about the shortcut thing, which is very crucial. Then let's do it vice versa now. Why is it brands on their websites, they've got social media handles? Like if you go to your website, the company website, some have got it at the top, like you have LinkedIn, you have Facebook icon, you have Instagram icon at the top, some is at the bottom. Why are they putting that? Mhm. True, and it's also the same thing that you mentioned before, official pages. So if you click on their the social media icon on their website, it will take you directly to their social media handle. So now you know that this is their official page. Because there are so many, you Google on social media right now, BMW, like you have a lot, some it's even people's accounts and they put a BMW logo on their, I've seen that with Man City. Like there are so many Manchester City social media handles on Facebook. But if I go to the Manchester City website and they've got that handle on Facebook, if I click there, I know that this is their official page. So it's always crucial to integrate, website on social media and, social media handles on website, vice versa. So a web performance refers to the speed at which web pages are downloaded and displayed on the web browser. So when you're talking about web browser, you've got your Chrome, Google Chrome, you've got your Opera, you've got Mozilla Firefox, you've got Microsoft Edge, you've got Safari, that app uses. So there are many browsers that you have there. And browsers have got their own algorithms and stuff like that. But whenever you want to view a website, it has to perform fast. And I've seen it in most cases that you visit a page and it takes long to load. And sometimes you feel like maybe your device is the one that is wrong, whether you're using a phone or a PC. You just feel like maybe you've got slow internet connection. But when you check on your data bundles, you realize that you've got enough data bundles to load this page. And sometimes you go to another company now, you realize that it's fast. What I'm trying to say is that not all website performs the best, regardless of your device that you're using to access that website, regardless of your internet connection. There are some websites that they are slow to death, especially government websites. People would complain about your home affairs, would complain like the site is just taking too long to load, even if you've got enough internet and the network is not that poor. So you need to optimize your page in such an extent that it downloads fast and the speed at which it is doing that is very high because you do not want to frustrate customers. Think about it right now as we are here. How many people are buying at Takealot right now, ordering from different parts of the country? And if it's very slow, they are going to leave it. Because sometimes the reason why your website speed is very low is because there are many people at once. But you can't blame people because you are the one who said they must buy it there. And sometimes when it's Black Friday, a website can crash because it can't handle people anymore. Because there are so many promotions and discounts, then all of a sudden there's 1,000 of people buying at the same time, and then it just can't handle them anymore, then it crashes. But you need to optimize it at such an extent that you understand, for example, if you are Pick and Pay, you know that you've got thousands of customers. So optimize your website to that level. If you are a Standard Bank, you know that you've got millions of users who are month-end. Everyone is using a banking app. People are sending each other e-wallets or whatever it is. If it crashes, not their problem, it's yours, because you say that this is the tool that you're going to use and you want their experience in using that thing be cool and be good, especially when it deals with people's money. So a website performance is the process of using tools, advanced strategies, and experiments to improve the performance of a website, further drive more traffic, increase conversions, and grow revenue. I think we discussed this yesterday, that don't have a website as a company or as an individual if it does not add value to you. So a website is an investment. A website is a digital store. A website is a digital library because it stores your information. Like it is a virtual business on its own. And there are companies who do not have physical stores. They actually rely on your website. So you need to invest in a website because it brings you money, it brings you sales, it also performs your marketing function because it maximizes the reach for people. So you need to make sure that whatever that you are doing on that website, it is to increase conversions and to grow revenue. So one of the most critical aspects of website optimization is search engine optimization. We're going to discuss that sometime next week. The technique not only focuses on getting various pages of a website to rank high for specific keywords, but also enables potential customers to find a brand in the easiest possible manner. So for example, if you are Huggies, you know Huggies, right? A brand. You need to optimize your website to such an extent that when people are talking about babies, no matter what they are saying, if keyword is baby, you must appear on search engines. And it does not only limit to babies, even potential mothers. If someone is talking about pregnancy, you know that this person at some point they're going to give birth. So if you are Huggies, if you are Pampers, you need to make sure that your website is optimized to such a way that you are capturing those words like pregnancy, Pampers, nausea, vomiting, because those are also signs of pregnancy, even though not everyone who is getting nausea is pregnant. We know that not everyone who is vomiting is pregnant, but you want to maximize the chances. I don't know if I'm making any sense. You want to maximize even if you are Nike, when people talk about sports, exercising, this and that, things that you know that it is potentially can involve Nike. You also want to be there. So it's not only baby products, but if you're a product, even if you're BMW, people are talking about moving from one point to another about cars. You also want to be there. So tools are there to do that. There are tools that are there that can help you optimize your website. The other critical aspect is on-page optimization. I think we discussed that. It's just that the word on-page is coming up stronger, is something that is more heavy. But we discussed that once you're on a page, on the home page, within that website, it also have to be easy to navigate in between the website, not only on Google results, but when you're on that website, from one point to another. For example, if you are on game website, it has got appliances, it has got kitchen DIY, it has got veranda, whatever. From one page to another, it has to be fast. It has to serve its function. And I'm talking about the things that you do on a daily basis because we are always on websites. So by optimizing a website, brands can not only tap into untapped market, most effectively and efficiently without paying for advertising, but also open doors to more conversions and revenue gains. And as brands, you must also assume, you must not assume that everyone is intelligent. Never assume that everyone will learn on your page. Make things as easier as possible for people to navigate. We've got people like my mother. They are old enough to focus on other issues than starting to learn that this is how I download. This is how, there's never a classroom to learn how to navigate a page. So make things as easier as possible for them. I know with our generations and the upcoming generations, most of the stuff that we're discovering on social media is through self-learning. You know that this is how I post a reel, this is how I share an image, this is how I like, But not everyone can be like that. And if you were to ask people, I can guarantee you that there's someone who knows TikTok in and out. But there's someone who does not understand how TikTok works. Like how to follow a person, how to unfollow a person, how to block a person. And there's no classroom to learn that. So brands need to make that very easy and not assume that people are going to figure out on their own. You don't do that. Check out, you need to make sure that it's visibly available. For example, think about it, you're on a website and add basket and checkout is on the top right. When you know that must on the top left, when you know that it's normally on the top right, it can confuse people. I know there was a website that, wedding rings. I went to that website, I clicked on the rings that I wanted. It added them to the basket, but I could not find the basket. Ngayathe. Can you see the basket? Nowhere to be found. Because I'm done shopping. Now I need to go to that basket and proceed to check out. I can't find it. So things like that. Don't assume that, this guy's got degrees, going to find it, Make it as visible as clear. That's what I always tell people whenever I'm offering couples some advice, I've told people that I do counseling, but they don't believe me because I talk too much about Njolo. Do not assume that I'm happy if I'm your partner. Ask me. There are people who always do that, like, I thought it will make you happy. Uthotelani, why are you talking about me? Do not assume. Ask me, The problem is that we assume thinking that people are intelligent, but there are tiny stuff, no matter how intelligent you are, you can struggle to do. I mean, many people do not know how to use an air fryer. I myself do not know, because an air fryer, it's a new thing that is becoming more common amongst many households. But I haven't given myself some thoughts on how I do an air fryer. And some people call me stupid, but I'm not. I've got degrees, So do not assume that some tiny little things, it's common knowledge that someone, you would think that, this is going to be easy for someone. So as brands, if you want to maximize customer experience, make things as simple as possible, as clear as possible, and do not have this thing that you will figure it out. You must figure. Some people like, it's for you to find out. No. Tell me what you like. Because if I find out the hard way, it might also end up hurting you. I'll give you an example. I'm asking you what's your favorite food as my partner. And you tell me that figure it out on your own because you claim you love me. So, okay, fine. Now I go and look for prawns. And so, here are prawns. I make you blindfold you. Surprise, surprise. Maybe you're going to like this. And you test it, all of a sudden you spit it out because you don't like it. Now you're mad at me. And sometimes it doesn't end there. Maybe I don't know that you had allergies. All of a sudden your skin is now have got rash and stuff like that. But you said I must figure it out. So you must never do that. I know there are people who believe in surprises. I myself, surprises can be deadly. Someone once put, it was a proposal and engagement, put an engagement ring into the ice cream. There are people who've got tendency of putting engagement rings into food anyway at a restaurant. You've heard that, right? Not knowing that your partner is a quick eater. Jiggy jiggy, it's in the stomach. What do you do? So all those things, yeah, people put it in dessert, you know. There are some people who are good, like, for example, I always have an issue with my wife, and now it's my boy. They're not patient with eating a chocolate, not in a bad way. A chocolate or sweets, especially mint, you know. Myself, I'll let it melt and melt and melt and melt until it's done. But my boy and my wife, they'll grind it. You know, the moment it is in their mouth, they would grind it until it's done. Like even if we're having a 24-bar chocolate, I would be on the second one and she is on the fourth or fifth because they're just chewing it. So you need to understand that instead of saying people are going to figure it out on their own, some people can just swallow without chewing, you know, because they know this is an ice cream, I can swallow it. But some people would even chew an ice cream. So you put a ring in there and then she swallows it straight away. What happens now? And she can even choke. She's blaming you. And your intentions were good, honestly. You wanted to propose and you're being romantic, but now someone is choking. You need to explain. So it's the same thing with browsers. Don't let it, you know, be there. And it's not only the performance. What about cyber breaches? Your website must be secure because people are going to put their banking details there. What if they are hackers? So all those things, you need to make sure that as a result, you are not in trouble. Then availability. The availability of a website is an indication of how easy, as you can see, easy. It has to be simple and easy. It is for a user to connect to it. And in theory, this figure should be 100%. So a website must always be operational at 100%. But we know for technical reasons, and sometimes even bad weather, you know, when weather is bad, we know that internet signal, you know, can be an issue or servers being down and so forth. But you need to make sure that those chances are very, 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 very minimal. The same thing with hospitals. You can't rely on ESCOM if you know that people are always on life support. Like they are breathing because of those machines. The moment there's load shedding, what is going to happen? Switches off, people die. So you need to make sure that, yes, technical reasons happens. There can be a machine failure and stuff like that, but maximum the reasons for people to be alive. You know, same thing with websites, because if there's a failure, especially for a long time, you are going to lose customers. How many times have you been frustrated when a site is down and not reachable? We know the story, you know. I mean, you want to apply for a passport and you've done your own budgets that in 2 months' time you should be in the Bahamas for a vacation or whatever it is, you know. And that's the only time you can have a leave at work and so forth and so forth. Then all of a sudden the Home Affairs site is down for a month. That's not good. Even with the websites, not only government entities, there's a function that you need to attend an event and they are looking for casual dresses, like that smart dress that you want. And you know that it's not in your wardrobe and want to purchase that dress, but the site is down and the event is in 2 days' time. And they take time to deliver. So all those things can frustrate our customers. So you need to understand all these things, optimize your sites. Most mobile application on your phone, for example, I don't know if you know that, but they are being optimized on a daily basis. How many times are you told that you need to update an app via App Store or via Google Play Store? You know, sometimes it's auto updated when we have got Wi-Fi connection. Think about WhatsApp. Yeah, it's updating many, many times. Even when there are new features, they fix some bugs during phone calls. Sometimes they'll ask you after a call how good the call was. So if you rate it 1 star, they need to tweak it so that it perform. It's all about performance. I don't know if I'm making any sense. Your Microsoft Teams also do that. So that's it about website performance. Are there any questions or any queries? I'm sure it makes sense because these are the stuff that we have that we do on a daily basis. I mean, truly speaking, do you think there's anyone out there, especially considering the current digital setups? Do you think there's anyone out there who've never been to a website? Maybe people in rural areas, you know. For example, I used to undermine my mother, not in a bad way, because she's almost 60. Like she's getting old, and that most of the things she